Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Rider Careers. We're heading to Germany and the tricky Sachsenring circuit. As here we are in Germany on a very sunny Sachsenring. Bit of a strange circuit. Firstly, anti-clockwise. But then you have the first sector tight as hell, lots of slow corners, and it really opens up in the second half of the lap. You can see with this first corner breaking downhill. And difficult to get on the power. You have to be in such a good rhythm. Got half this lap to nail it. But Madonna is definitely in a good rhythm after the last couple of races. After moving the Intervetter machine right up there on the calyx, and it's launching himself at the top three, trying to break away from the chasing back behind. Now, he's still got a long way to go as we're at the halfway mark of the season. There's all clipping the apex there, beautiful from Patrick McDonald. It's like down the brakes before the jump. As these bikes, a bit more powerful than Moto3 bikes, you actually have to think of how to be in that rhythm through that section. And into the penultimate corner, look at this. Bumpy as hell. Gotta be careful getting on the powers on the exit. And the final corner, uphill. So can break a bit later than that, McDonald. Getting more speed through the corner, be a bit smoother getting on the powers or out of it as he does a 23.5. With a short circuit as well as Sachsenring circuit compared to the circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya, and the TT circuit Assen that we visited in the last episode. And this time McDonald has got a teammate in front as he's almost a 10th slower than his previous lap in that first sector. Takes a very wide line to that long right-hander. Got lots of corners like that on the Canada, are very frustrating. Long radius corners. So McDonald losing the rear end through the left. But just about gets in front. His teammate, he's trying to push him on it. Flying lap. He's already 2 tenths down. Could be more after that as he has run wide. We might as well abandon this lap. But it hasn't cost McDonald pole, though ahead of his teammate Lutia 1-2. Fantastic. In qualifying has, despite his team order, it might have been the satellite team getting in trouble there with McDonald, but the Kenyan grabs another pole. He's second in a row with Morbidelli rounding out the front row with Marquez, Olivia, Passini behind, and Baldassari, Nakagami, and Shirota in his home race. And then we got Xavi in 10th for his fellow countryman Ika at the back. So can Patrick McDonald grab another win and make it 3 from 3? As the sun shines somehow even brighter on races, there you can see Light Still Magnum on the front row. Then you can see further back outside the top 10, Danny Kent, Luca Marini. On the 5th row, quarter row, Agata Bagnaia, and Poncerin and Vinales. Simon, Navarro and Cortez in his home race. As we wait for the lights to appear and go out for this 8-lap race, McDonald gets a super start. Because once again he is on the mediums, front and rear. That's just going to be configuration for whole of this season. He runs wide in the first corner though into the gravel. He drops back to 6th to 5th as he just about holds on. Ahead of Marquez, that is, and he's got his teammate, his former teammate Shirota behind him in 7th, trying to make that 6th, but now Luca Marini is by, and McDonald gets into Marini, off into the dirt. What a horrible start to the lap, with Olivia and Furpacini 4th. He's dropped down to 10th as McDonald. Down the inside, Nakagami, down the inside, Shirota though. He's got Bagnaia past Ken into 11th. And this like Nakagami was followed McDonald past the German as well. As Shirota really dropping back behind Bagnaia as well. As he got Baldassare Marini. He's going very slow through the left. That's McDonald to get by. Through the waterfall, down the back straight, up into 6th. What a horrible first lap for McDonald. He's really going to be fighting this race. He's had a bit of a cruise. The last race in the Netherlands. This one's a bit more like all out raw, like it was in the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, as Morbidelli leads 24-9. Teammate Marcus in front of us in 5th, Rossini in 4th. We've got Luti holding on to second ahead of Oliveira. Once the Red Bull got by, and looks like the Red Bull's got by McDonald's teammate. He's now trying to make the move on his old pal Pastini. He's got Marini and Baldassarre still deciding who wants to be in front. And see over half a second behind though. This is a long race to that rise, but a very short lap. So he should fly by. And we're trying to fly by the Italian. So that proved a bit difficult in his home race. Might prove difficult again. They're still not on speaking terms, they are. So let's see what's going to happen. In the second after that, where McDonald is a bit better than he is in the first half. First half, he can peg his opponents. Second half, he can be faster. Once again, Marini, Italian going very slow. So is Marcus, so is Luti. McDonald round the outside of his teammate. Oh, but Luti holds on. Going into the penultimate corner, McDonald trying to nip down the inside, but it looks like Marcus trying to get the inside line for McDonald heading into the final corner. McDonald holds on from Marcus, does he? No, Marcus just pushes him wide. Using touring car tactics on a motorbike. He's gone to the third lap. They're just holding off Bassini, but Marcus up to 4th after that. Very clumsy move, and now here comes Bassini down the inside of McDonald into the first corner. McDonald's going to have to get the elbows out if he wants to win this race, as he does get by the Italian back into 5th. Now what is he going to do about Marcus? As he does charge down the inside, gives him a bit of a bump and run maybe. Doesn't quite work out on the motorbike though. There we go, going into McDonald's sector though this second after that. There's a good run through the left hand. He really is picking up speed on Marquez. Maybe missed again, looks like. Very slow. Now through the left, there goes Luti slowly. And here comes McDonald catching up onto Olivier. He's all over the curves here. And they're very high. You don't want to be doing that. Next round the outside the KTM. Into the ultimate corner, but he's up into 3rd now. At least he's making progress in this 3rd. That when you know like he's going to be dropping back at the beginning of it. That's all. Oliveira runs right, so does McDonald. To go onto the front stretch, onto the 4th lap. You can see Morbidelli leading, Oliveira 2nd, McDonald 3rd, all about the same distance between all three. And just like there's all, Oliveira runs wide, McDonald did the fastest out there. And that 3rd lap, and oh, he takes a look down the KTM. But Oliveira shuts the door into the left-hander. You also got Luti still hanging around. In 4th, there he is. Very much still on his teammate's tail. But he's holding him off in the first part of this lap. That's the good part for McDonald. As he goes through the left-hander. Crowd got a fantastic vantage watch on the right-hand side. Seeing these bikes go through this fast stuff. So McDonald runs slightly wide for the left. Not going to have a fantastic run on Oliveira. He'll run slightly wide, but goes round the outside. Fantastic move. And now there's just one rider to beat for McDonald, Morbidelli. He goes towards the penultimate corner. Can he make the move? He dives. But he outbrakes himself. Runs wide. But he does hold off Oliveira, so he's up to 2nd, heading into the second half of this race. And now we're going to see a battle with Morbidelli. We've seen McDonald try and battle Marquez. A bit with Oliveira, especially with Luti, Bassini, and Baldassarre. Let's see how he is battling Morbidelli. The Italian, some Brazilian heritage as well. Been Moto2 a while, but is finally winning. Looking like a complete riders. It looks like that's Edgar Pons, I'm guessing. Down from 31st. They're having a good season, the Pons. Edgar or Axel. You know, once again losing their way through that left-hander. He's not very good through that corner, is he? He's 8/10 behind Morbidelli. Once again very poor into the next left. Got Olivia over half a second back though, so he doesn't have to be looking behind. He's very much focused on in front, too much in front. And Morbidelli does a bit of a Marquez to him. It's all very slow over that rise. And McDonald is very confident. Seems to be the only confident rider over that rise. Franco Morbidelli has been in his category well, and now in top machinery he's showing how good he is. He's got over a second gap behind to Olivier, but McDonald right on the tail of Morbidelli. Not getting much slipstream though. And that start finish straight, so he's got to make the move before the final couple of corners maybe. There's now Marquez past Luti. Once again the top four in the championship are the top four in the race. His gaps remains the same in that first sector. We've got the helicopter hovering actually. It's like flying around the circuit, not just hovering in one spot. Hope the pilot can deal with that workout. So that's much smoother, that's much tighter as well. Rear end not getting out for McDonald. Look at that, he's closing the gap on Morbidelli. Now over the rise. Maybe off circuit, McDonald, oh he's down! Morbidelli's taking him out! And now, he's got some work to do heading on to the penultimate lap of the race. It's like Magello all over again, got taken out by a crazy Italian, and now here comes one round the outside in Bagnaia. Now McDonald's got to push like a hell. He's going to get even a podium from this race when it should have been a victory. What was Morbidelli doing taking out McDonald? Just so you know, it's like he's building momentum as well in the championship. He has to deal with this again. To go through the right-hander. Got Baldassari in front. Battling is that Piscini. Go through the lefts. Now we can build up the speed. Nice and smooth through that left-hander, McDonald. Look at that, he's gaining a second behind Baldassari. He really is just going to have to gun it over the rise. Using all the curb on the outside. As they are going very slow, and it's like through the waterfall, back into the top five for McDonald. He's got his teammate in front. You can see Marquez, Oliveira, Morbidelli a bit in front. Seeing almost into the back of McDonald. Looks like he costed now. He's outbraked himself, making a move on Baldassari. McDonald very wide in the final corner. It's now Baldassari down the inside. He's gone to the final out. McDonald does the fast out 24 flat. But he's battling with Baldassari heading towards the first corner. And now here comes Piscini. Being a total arsehole. Pushing McDonald ride. Dodge has to make the move back on Baldassari. He's losing time here. Battling on the final lap. Gets down the inside of the Italian though, finally. Now he's going to try and do it down the inside of Piscini. Good luck to him. He goes through the left hand. It goes slightly wide though. Gets back on the power smoothly enough. Now heading towards this section. Down the inside of Piscini. You can see running wide, but gets on the power. Means he's round the outside of Luti. And maybe has a run out the podium. There is Marquez right in front. Heading towards the penultimate corner. Nicking around the outside of the Spaniard. As it looks like Morbidelli's winning. Who's going to grab the final podium spot though? Is it McDonald as he goes down the inside? He's gone again. And it looks like he's going to cross the line in 9th. Again, just like Mugello. As he did the fastest lap, but another undeserved position when he should have won. But Morbidelli took him out and then making the move on Marquez. Getting on the power bike just went away from him. As it's Olivia in 2nd, Marquez 3rd, Luti 4th, Pacini 5th, Baldassarre 6th, Bernard 7th, Marini 8th, Nakagami 10th, Agata 11th, Kent 12th, Courtois 13th, Zabi down in 14th, poor race for the Tech 3 with Coursing 15th, grabbing the final point ahead of Brad Binder with Edgar Pons at the back. So in the championship, McDonald was 59 points behind Morbidelli after the Italian took him out. He's 40 points behind Olivia, who's up to 2nd, 3 points ahead of Marcus and 23 points ahead of Luti. In 5th, his teammate with Pacini in 7th, Bernard 7th, Baldassarre 8th, Nakagami 9th, and Marini round out the top 10. As further down, you've got Corsi up to 15th, ahead of Surin. And at the back is still Ikas in the constructors' standings. 45 points is the gap between Canucks and KTM, with Suter in 3rd on 88 points, 43 ahead of Tech 3, with Speed up to 11 points in 5th. So very disappointing for McDonald once again, but can he redeem himself heading into the second half of the season and the Brno circuit in the Czech Republic? So for Patrick McDonald, his championship hopes are kind of out of his hands once again, 59 points behind. But it's a new day, it's a new qualifying session, and it's 2 laps around the Automotodrome. Brno. Fantastic circuit. Where McDonald is very quick. He was very quick in the Sachsenring, but sometimes you don't need pace, you need luck, and he hasn't had much of it in the first half of the season. Let's see if it turn around in the second half. He's establishing as the number 1 into Wetton at least. Gone is the unbeaten record. Going to make it 3 from 4. No doubt you can round it. We were on a bit of anger as well after that race, after the first half of the season, where he may have won 3 races, but he lost at least 3 as well. A number of points have gone down the drain. So let's see if you can start clawing them back. So still love that feel on the right hand side and on the left as well, coming up, being on the banks, looking down. Must be fantastic for the crowd seeing Patrick McDonald wrestle this thing round this circuit, around that middle sector, and now downhill into the right hand. A very easy corner for the rear end to get out. That's nice and smooth from McDonald, using a full width of the track as well. Very nicely done. That's not too bad, isn't it? It's like maybe a bit slow in places. But he's at least been hitting the apexes, not running wide and going all over the place. He's come to the final couple corners, the penultimate corner, where it's very easy to do that. Very deceiving corner. You have to brake much earlier than you think. In the final corner, where you just try and get as much speed as you can into the corner. You know, if you get off the corner smoothly onto the start-finish straight. So that's a 59.1 to begin things off with for McDonald. And he's now stuck behind someone again on his second qualifying effort. I better give him a bit of a tow in this first sector though. He gets his elbows out. Get out of the way. Sending into the left. Trying to make sure he hits that apex. Gets the back end out. Again, this right hand of the back end can get out as well. And they got almost half a second faster. Might have been a bit more. He wasn't held up during that first corner. Now into the left. Or should I say right. And into the double right. Now we go into our left. This middle sector. The track is a bit more free flowing in the first and last third. But you have this sector in the middle. There's a much more about being a slower rhythm. And look at that, almost 7/10 of a second up. We're going for a 58 here as Johnny Hernandez down early once again in a qualifying session. Trink if you've heard that before. Might have a liver problem after all of this session if you have. There's too much curb on the outside. It's gone right into the left-hander's McDonald. As that screwed up this lap. Go through the right, heading into the final couple of corners. He's lost around a quarter of a second. Can he gain it back in this final sector though? It's nicely taken. Into the left, into the right. Manzi, he's down as well as the Italian. He's not using all the curb. Is that a 58? It is. And it's our third consecutive pole for the Kenyan ahead of Marquez and Morbidelli. With Luti, Oliveira and Passini behind on the second row. On a further row, Baldassari, Nakagami and Shirotto. Savi ran out the top 10 with Ika at the back. Your grid, it's kind of set in stone now, isn't it, from the last few rounds. So let's see if McDonald can get back into winning ways. So we look at the grid with Light still at the top, directly in front of his teammate Luti, who leads the second row. You've got Baldassari. I'm not sure if he's happy or wincing there in 7th for the number 7. Looking further back there, you've got Pons in 16th. You've got Xavier Simon leading the 7th row. And then right at the back, you've got familiar names everywhere. As we rev up the engine, wait for the lights to appear. And go out for this 6-lap race. With a squirrely start for McDonald, but he's chopping across. He doesn't want to get into a battle with Morbidelli. But then he outbrakes himself into the first corner. That allowed him up, VDS man down the inside. It won't. McDonald holds on through the first couple of corners. He's perhaps a bit cautious against the Italian in Germany. He wants to not make the same mistake. Drop down on the first lap. And have a battle for the rest of the race. As it looks like Marquez past Morbidelli. That's pretty good for the championship with Olivier now out of Morbidelli as well. But Morbidelli fights back immediately against the KTM. Let's see if he can get it down the first gears, McDonald. Using all the engine braking into the right-hander. Into over half a second in front of Marquez. He's going to the lefts. Will be smooth on the power. Don't be spin out the wheel too early in this race. So easy to do that as Marquez almost into the back of McDonald. Well, he still holds on to second, it looks like. We're going to the final part of this first lap. Beautiful clear skies overhead, just like in qualifying. They've been very fortunate with the weather in the last couple of races since the Assen downpour. It's got Olivier back past Morbidelli. That would be a very good race-on battle. It stays like that. There's a nice and tight on that right-hand. A great smooth exit for McDonald. Marquez 2/3 of a second behind now. After it sounded like being very close heading into that corner. Didn't even do that in qualifying, did McDonald. And he grabbed pole. As there goes Olivier past Marquez. And now Morbidelli as well. Spaniard really lost out on that final couple of corners. So it leads by a second and a half over Oliveira. Does the fast out 203.4. Runs wide in the first corner, but you can do that. Got the power early. You see Oliveira battling with Morbidelli in that first corner. You can take some tight lines. You can take Passini for third. Head of Morbidelli. What a move from the Italian veteran. And past Oliveira as well. Is that Morbidelli battling him back to second? No, it's Baldassari. Where have you come from? You know, it's the title contenders behind, but here come the midfield runners. With the mayhem. So there we are, up to third ahead of Passini. Well done, Mark VDS, guys. This could be fantastic for the championship for McDonald. If they're just battling for a top 5 and not a podium, not the higher stake points. Brilliant for Oliveira as well in that KTM. As it's Baldassarri in second, a second and a half behind. With almost cleaning that gap. It achieved after the first lap. Going to the final set to this right-hander, so easy to run wide like this. It has been a scruffy that from McDonald, but to maintain that gap is looking very good as... Oh, here comes Morbidelli, back past Oliveira onto the podium places. But it's Baldassarri, the number 7, the guy who's wincing or smiling on the grid, who holds that position 1.7 seconds behind McDonald. He's just got some clear road in front of him. Starting to get into that rhythm where the tyres are starting to heat up. Some of the brakes, the tyres, and all part of this race. It's a 2-minute .4 in that second lap. Be aiming to maybe go under the 2-minute mark in this race. This is 1.9 seconds there of Baldassarri. He's now got Morbidelli right behind him. Then you also got the likes of Bassini, Oliveira, Marquez in that group. And who knows who else as well. Just what McDonald needs. To go through the left and right. He's hooking up all the apexes. He's got a 2.5 second lead. He looks unbeatable today. You can just keep it clean, which has been difficult to do this season. Yeah, he may have won Nassim, but he did go down twice. Just like Manzi has in this race, off from 30th for the Italian. Not having a good season at all on that Sky Italia bike. Teammate of Bagnaia, who's got a podium, remember, this season. I've been battling for a podium. It's all Baldassarri cuts that gap to 2 seconds now over McDonald, even though he's been much smoother this lap. Obviously not as quick. And the guy in 4th place in the championship, battling for this championship with this win. As in this out, Baldassarri's now moved back behind Morbidelli and Oliveira. Where is Marquez? He's been very quiet. Where is Lutia as well? Are they just battling for a top 5? As normal order has resumed on the podium. 2.3 second gap behind to Morbidelli. Oliveira is that. Making a move into the penultimate corner. Very nice from the Portuguese rider. And with another fast lap, another 2-minute .4. Very consistent. As you go into the second half of this race, 2.5 seconds ahead of Oliveira. I shall make that Morbidelli. Once again, exchanging places. It's the KTM and Kalex. Let's come to the end of this first sector. Although there actually are clouds in the sky. Not quite as perfect, I believe, the sky overhead. Mid-30 in the first sector, almost 3 seconds ahead of the battling pair behind. Hopefully they're slowing themselves down. So McDonald can just build this gap to a bit more of a comfortable position than it is now, in case there are late dramas. Of course, they'd like the gap to be like Assen, but it's not raining, so unfortunately that won't happen for him. But he's keeping it nice and smooth. Tyre wear is not really an issue here. As Manzi is down once again. Having a mare is Manzi. There's all Morbidelli gained back a 10th in that sector. As it does seem to be the first and final sector where McDonald is pretty strong. And the second and third sectors are to his opponents as he runs wide into the left. As Olivier gets past Morbidelli behind for a second. Very easy to do that into the left-hander where you can brake very deep. If you push it too much, that happens. And he has lost another couple of tenths to the battling pair. He's approached the penultimate lap of this race. Oh, gets the power down very hard. Well, it's another fastest out 2-minute point 2 now. Despite the mistakes, he's just going faster and faster. Well, it's 3 seconds ahead of Oliveira now. But still, you wonder where Marquez and Luti are. Very important for the championship for McDonald. So there's nowhere to pair behind her. We are Baldassari and Pacini. Have they dropped back as the race has gone on after the brief cameo in podium places? We got 3.6 seconds in front now, and a 30.4. Might be his fastest first sector for McDonald. He's definitely in the zone. Just like I say, it runs right in the right-hander. Well, he is keeping it very smooth. We go all over the curb into the left-hander. That's too smooth, maybe. Too early turning. Just had to brake a lot into that right-hander. 3.1 ahead of Olivier. He's gained back a couple of tenths. That seems to be the normal to-in and throwing. And McDonald will lose a couple of tenths in this set, especially if he runs wide like that. Let's see if you nail this left-hander though. That's better, still slightly wide and turning. And then through the right, had to dab the brake sight as the bike was going wide. And so what's the gap to Oliveira? 3.6, he's actually gained a few tenths. And in this final set too, he is quicker as well. As Morbidelli gets past Oliveira for second. Going on to the final half of the race. McDonald does dip into the 59s. 59.5. Once again on a penultimate lap of a race, McDonald is flying on near the end of it. He's down though. With a 4-second lead though, he should still be able to maintain the lead. He just cut the curb on the inside. And lucky Olivier and Morbidelli are battling hard. So McDonald retains the lead after that scare. But now he's got Morbidelli and Olivier right on his tail, and they're still battling though. Are they too busy concentrating on themselves? Here comes Marquez. Up to third ahead of Oliveira. As it's just a second gap behind now for McDonald. He's got to keep it together on this final lap. Will he be chucking away another victory? As here comes this silent assassin, Marquez past Morbidelli. It's like he's been waiting all race long to strike by Morbidelli and Olivier, and now he's doing it on the final lap. He goes into the left, McDonald. Got to keep it smooth, hitting these apexes as Olivier up to second, gains back a 10th. That's the Mark VDS pair battling like hell on this final lap. It goes into the right hander, slightly wide for McDonald. And now Morbidelli past Oliveira. Oh, slightly wide, or was that a good line into the left-hander? Now through the right, gets on the power nice and smooth, nice and early. Tyres around halfway worn as he approached the final couple of corners. 1.2 second gap behind to Morbidelli. Doesn't have to note down his inside into the penultimate corner. Or into the final corner. He goes very slow, McDonald. He just wants to be smooth on the power on the run to the line as he takes another victory. And can he go on a run? Could this initiate the run he had in Moto 3? We hope so, as he finished ahead of Morbidelli though. That's the bad news. Only takes 5 points back from the Italian. Olivier third, Marquez fourth, Luti fifth. Just ahead of Baldassari and Pacini. Bagnaia. Then we've got Savi, Marini, Agata, Nakagami, Mortararo, Binder, and Axel Pons with the final point by over half a second ahead of Corsi, with Manzi at the back by a country mile. So in the championship, McDonald's 54 points behind Morbidelli, who leads by almost a race win over Olivier, who's just 6 points ahead of Marquez. Then we've got Lutin 5th, 12 points ahead of Pacini, with Baldassari up to 7th ahead of Bagnaia, with Nakagami and Marini rounding out the top 10. As further down, Brad Binder Oliveira's teammates up to 19th ahead of Vinales and Raffin. And we've got Edgar Pons ahead of Stefano Manzi and Nakashima. As in the Constructors' stand, it's a 54-point lead for Canucks now overtake 2 race wins ahead of KTM, with Suter in third, 41 points ahead of Tech 3, who are 41 points ahead of Speed Up. And much relief for McDonald starting off the second half of the season now with the way he needed to with a victory. As yes, he'll be celebrating with the clothes tonight. Perfect reputation weekend, as it was very up and down episode for McDonald, but he started off the second half of the season and how he began it in Moto3. Can he go on a similar run? Find out next time round the Red Bull Ring and the Silver Zone circuit. So now for watching, and I'll see you then.